That's another thing too, right? I don't think we covered this. Sports betting, we got very excited on this. We were, I think, all a little cautious about the potential that this is not going to. I think maybe Amit was maybe the most optimistic, but taken away the day after we did our live stream. So we just sat on that for a week. No more sports betting.
Not
you think this
for
comes
now.
back?
For now.
For now.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. I figured it, and you can see like the way that they worded this in their post on X. It was a bit of a surprise for Robinhood themselves. I don't think they would have rolled it out otherwise. So this may take a couple of months to resolve, but that's in time for some other major events. It would be great if March Madness, if it was available then. It's not a full suite of sports betting, but maybe it's something that they just can't do under the current framework, or they have to figure out an alternative way to do that legally. Yeah, this wasn't. It would have added to revenue, but it's not. I don't think it would have been as big as the election betting. That was pretty insane.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be as large, but I do think that the category in general is like a large enough add to Robinhood's business that they are going to separate it from their other revenue, if that makes sense. Look at my puppy.
Is that a new puppy?
No, I've had her for a while.
Dude, I've never seen her on your stream.
Raina, come here. Up.
I've only seen the cat.
Raina. Oh. Yeah, what a good girl.
Wow. I need to get a puppy, bro.
We've had her for a while.
I don't know what the CTFTC C4C is. I don't know what they are. I don't know what the hell they do.
C3PO. That's what it is.
Dude, I was getting a manicure on Tuesday, okay? And then I see this notification while I'm getting my manicure. CTFC stops Robinhood derivative. I'm like, what the fuck is who are these people? And so I think this is going to be short-lived. I think Hood's going to make some calls to the Trump administration, remind them they put in $2 million into that inaugural fund, and they're going to get some hopefully influential people to tap other people at the CTC47 FTC on the shoulder and be like, come on, like golden age of America, baby. We're not going to stop Super Bowl contracts.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, what was it? The FDIC came out this week as well and said that they have been looking back on their crypto sort of restrictions, and they want to sort of relook those, lighten up, and be a little bit more friendly to financial institutions and help them get a clearer roadmap to setting up crypto that could also be safe for consumers. I think that we are going into a golden age in terms of products that should be available to consumers. As long as that there's the disclosures, adults should be able to do what adults want to do. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with the age restrictions or anything. I know that we talked about this between 18 years old to potentially trade in derivatives markets, 21 to do sports gambling in most states, I think. Is that a potential factor here?
I haven't read through the filings. I have no idea why they made. I think Robinhood could have said no, screw you, but they didn't want to bark up the wrong tree, and they were just like, we're just not going to fight this right now. I don't know, maybe because they didn't go after Kalshi, so I don't know why they're going after Robinhood unless they think Robinhood's a brokerage and it shouldn't be mixed with sports betting. Which brings up the broader question. Karan right here in the chat says they should make a separate app for betting. Dan Dolev, one of the biggest bulls on Hood, raised them to 65 on Friday and said, we think there's a real good shot that sports betting ends up becoming a thing for Hood. So what do you guys think? Should they incorporate it into the app or stay away from it?
Well, I think that they should definitely have part in it. They have customers that want it. And if they can create some sort of product similar to Robinhood Connect, where they can allow for seamless fund transactions to Robinhood betting app to the Robinhood brokerage app, put it in a separate app. Who cares?
Probably what they're going to do is just launch one of these successfully that are related to sports, see what the reception is as far as people actually using it and enjoying it. And if there seems like that there's enough people that are like, hey, we love this feature, we want more of it, they'll cater to that. I think the one thing that they're not going to do, and I did see some comments in as far as like partnering with Kalshi or DraftKings and like moving some of that off, Robinhood would not want to do that just because it would actually be moving assets off of their platform potentially. So I don't see that. But my guess is, yeah, let's run one or two of these. Robinhood's pretty aggressive, maybe just one. If the Super Bowl had actually worked out, then that might have been it for the pilot phase, and expand it from there, or just say, hey, maybe just Super Bowls.
I don't think Robinhood is too against moving assets off their platform. The reason why I say that, I know that sounds crazy, but Robinhood Connect is a thing, and they just, like Vlad was just promoting that for Moonshot, I think it is, that 22 million users can now transact or transfer money from Robinhood over to Moonshot to then play in, smaller degen plays in the crypto space. I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's
they are, yeah,
meme coins and shit coins.
With a name like Moonshot, it's like, yeah.
But they're happy to set that up and just take their rate and transfer a little bit of assets off their platform.
Hey Tanner, when you were talking about the press release, was that SEC, FDIC? Like, what organization was it that you mentioned that was moving away from the regulation, heavy regulation?
FDIC.
Okay, so this week also CFTB, which is the same organization that slapped Robinhood, on February 4th, they announced something very similar as well. And they said that they're actually reorganizing to combat fraud and help victims while ending the practice of regulation by enforcement. And I found that pretty ironic given what happened with the election betting. It was actually on not the election betting, the sports betting. It was on the same day. And I was like, okay, so which is it?
Yeah, I think the Trump deregulation stuff is not here yet. I mean, IPOs aren't back, M&A is not back, so it might take a little bit of time before we get there. Tanner, can you give us the EPS estimate that you have?
I'll have to.
Diluted shares, I think, is 942 million is the number you need.
I thought it was like 905 million.
Fully diluted, or?
I'll have to check.
Let me tell you. So diluted shares. Oh yeah, we're at 918.
Okay,
918. That's our number.
Sorry, go ahead. I'll have to do that real quick.
Roy, what do you think about Doliv's argument about 65 based on he interviewed 100 Robinhood investors or users and said 2/3 of them would be likely to use something like Hood because they already use DraftKings? Like, do you think it's the right industry to get into?
I mean, I don't think that they should go off of this. I think that they really need to run a couple of these events contracts that are geared towards sports betting. Super Bowl would have been good, but I'd also like them to do like a smaller one just to see if there's any kind of adoption at all for that. The mega events certainly, but I don't mind them offering it and offering access, but I don't think that 2/3 of Robinhood users would actually do that. A lot of times, and this is like a very, very small sample size. It's not a scientific study or anything like that. But I don't know. It's fine if they offer it. I'd like to see them just kind of see how it goes with something smaller than the Super Bowl. And if the excitement is there, why not add that? But like a full platform like DraftKings or something, no.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't think they really care about sports betting. I think it's getting a little hyped up, and that's not their mission. I do think sports contracts is a world where they see growth, but I don't know if they want to be like allowing you to bet on how many touchdowns or how many yards Mahomes is going to throw for, right? But like general Super Bowl, Chiefs versus Eagles, I think that they want to get into that. But in general, we did see Vlad tweet a while ago that as news becomes the markets become the news, and he's kind of following that idea that people want to bet on stuff. I just don't know how deep they're going to get into it, but they need new avenues of growth, right? Like, we need new ways to diversify revenue, and this is a really easy way. I mean, like, sports are not as cyclical as the market, right? So I don't hate it. I just don't know if they're really going to go after it.
Yeah, I'm interested. Sorry, I'm thinking about EPS here. So I took my numbers and plugged it in, and I'm getting closer to about 35 cents, which is below consensus. So I'm wondering what Wall Street's seeing that I'm not, because I've got a pretty high margin here. I've got a a way higher amount of net income. So either they're expecting some massively large increase in margin that I'm just not understanding, or there's some sort of one-time expense that I'm not thinking of. Can you guys think of what that is? Because I'm looking at like a 28% margin, getting $290 million of
net income.
Unless they have a lot of tax losses from prior quarters that I'm not aware of, and then they take that. I don't know. I was thinking that there might be a chance. Like that EPS number looked high to me. I didn't crunch the numbers, but
right,
very high.
Yeah, they did last quarter in net income, 150 million.
Yeah, 150 million, 188 before that. And I'm seeing closer to like 290 this quarter. If you look at like a 29% net income margin, which would be record setting for them.
Yeah, last quarter was 24%. Yeah, that is weird. What is it? I don't know, dude. I don't know what the street's thinking. They're expecting 44 cents.
So let's just see what type of margin. So let's do their math really quickly. So they said what, 950 million in revenue?
Yeah.
Okay.
950 times 0.29. Yeah, that would be 275.
So I don't know. Like you're looking at really, really high percentages here.
Are we supposed to be dividing by not the full share count? Is that what changes it? In that case, we would be dividing by 884 versus 918.
No, it's fully diluted. It's EPS is fully diluted.
Okay, so it has to be. Yeah, right.
Is the margin your take rate or your margin is increasing? I'm assuming for quarter 4. Is that correct? Or
yep. Yeah,
okay,
to the highest rate they've ever seen. So Q3 was a little bit of a drop off. So it went from 27.5 down to 23.5. I'm saying it goes back up and beats their highest at 28.5%, which I'm not even 100% sure that would happen. Well, obviously they did a lot of growth, but there was a lot of new initiatives as well.
Yeah,
to get that growth.
But 90% of their costs are fixed, so maybe the market is just giving them even more margin.
I think the market is assuming more crypto, and that's where they get the higher net income number. So you may be right on the revenue estimate, Tanner, but you're assuming it from net interest. If the market's assuming it from crypto, they're definitely going to smash the EPS number because our margin on crypto is just way better than.
Yeah, they're essentially assuming about a 45% net income margin.
That's aggressive, bro.
That's really aggressive.
I'm really bullish for this quarter, bro, but I mean, that's a lot of shit they're expecting.
Yeah, I honestly prefer going in earnings the opposite when expectations are low and price action has matched it. It's like, oh, that's a nice setup. It's fine, but
aggressive. You can't keep getting away with this.
Exactly. They keep raising. Like, what are they going to do? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's very clear. Like, you can see it in the price action. You can see that in the price targets as well. You can see that in the way that the street talks about Robinhood. There's the excitement is palpable on this one, and it's not just about the one quarter. That you have to keep that in mind. Like, say that they do a double miss. That's a possibility. It's a very realistic possibility. Still ridiculous numbers. If the stock price comes down, that's going to get bought up.
Yeah, I'm looking at 905.5 million shares. So I checked the not even 918. So I'm looking at weighted average common shares outstanding diluted, which is what we're supposed to be looking at. And then on $950 million of revenue, they want 428 million to get to 47 cents. So wait, what is it? 45 cents?
44 cents. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're expecting cost cutting somewhere else, but it's hard to assume.
So about a 42.5% net income margin, $400 million of net income.
Dude, they're gonna have to pull off a Palantir type of quarter Just like
That's not a pound, dude. That is way.
No, what I mean is by expectations. Like no one expected Palantir to grow at 36%. Like this, like they're gonna have to.
All right, 31.
All right, but they're going from quarter over quarter. Actually, year over year, they're going from 30 million to 400 million.
Yeah, that's huge growth. But like, if the streets are like people like analysts were expecting 770 million on Palantir's revenue, and they brought in 828. If analysts are expecting 950 million, we've got to beat that number, which obviously is an incredible quarter, but we got to beat that. And then on EPS, analysts were expecting like 5 cents for Palantir, and we got like if they're expecting 44 cents on.
Are we saying what we all are thinking right now? Can I say it?
What?
I think that this might be a great buying opportunity quarter.
That's what I'm hoping.
This is going to tank.
That's what I'm hoping. Great numbers. Give
unless Vlad swings it out of the park.
The problem is that I haven't read
away. Like
I haven't read a report for Wall Street this quarter. And so if there is something that we're just completely missing, I'd love to know. You know?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see, guys. I mean, the good thing about this one is I'm not in short dated calls. I don't need the stock to be above a certain level I don't really care. So if it goes down, I'll buy. If it doesn't, okay. You know, so to me, it's not really that scary, but guess we're going to see Wednesday.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it for us. These are the numbers that we have. For those that joined at the end, you can go to the beginning. Basically, all of us are assuming around 945 at the minimum to $1 billion on the top line on revenue. And then based on Tanner's numbers, I would agree with him. Around 35 cents of EPS. Street wants 44, so we'll see where that comes in. All right, we'll be live on Wednesday. We'll be streaming it on all 3 of our channels, and it'll be a fun earnings in video.
Can I highlight one thing? Sorry, I just want to add one more piece, is that this happened last quarter as well. They said, hey, our numbers were fantastic. Wall Street didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
So this could be similar to last quarter of blown out expectations, and that was only by 1 cent. So who knows? I hope it's by 1 cent. I hope we get 43 cents.
Oh, that'd be so good. If 43 cents and we get just slightly under for revenue, stock goes back to the mid 40s. Yes, please.
Yeah, because if January's data is good and the stock goes back to 40s, just like what happened in October,
yeah.
I mean, that's really an easy decision.
Given what we've seen in the markets, I have a hard time seeing January numbers as not being good. Markets have done well. Crypto has done well. There's been a ridiculous amount of volatility. I don't know what they've got from the Trump coin or anything. We got, but it's set up pretty well.
Yep, I agree. All right, we'll end it out on this super chat. Marco, thank you for the $50. Appreciate you, brother. I don't have a specific question or need a shout out. Just wanted to say thank you. I've made a lot of money with Hood because of you guys, Palantir, Hood, SMCI. I love it. Hopefully we all continue to make money on Hood going into this quarter. But if there's a dip, it's up 40%. We all probably are mature enough to realize stocks can be volatile. But if it goes higher and they really do swing it out of the park, this is a next generation company with a paradigm shift that is getting re-rated that potentially has S&P inclusion coming up. So it could be a very, very exciting year for Hood.
Yeah, and it could go either way. It's exciting.
All right.
Crazy.
Good stuff. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys on Wednesday for the earnings stream. Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.
Have a good weekend.